Let's be real. Dating advice online is garbage. It's unrealistic, exaggerated, and not how things are in real life. Connection Through Chaos is about real people, real experiences, and real conversations. Everything from dating to actually being married and all the real life moments in between there. And I'm here with a good friend of mine, Tiffany. We've been social media friends for a while now. That's crazy. Tell the people a little bit about you.
Uh, So I'm Tiffany. I am engaged to be
Okay.
married.
Okay.
Shout out to my man. We have 5 children total. We are business owners in OTR,
Okay.
over the
What you got
Rhine.
down? What y'all got going on down there?
So we own, and it was his business, and obviously I came into it.
Okay.
So we're the owners now.
For sure.
But
Hours.
let him
Hours.
tell it. Um, so it's called OTR Funplex. It is
Okay.
a fun family experience type of thing where we have a full bar, we have a board game lounge, a bunch of different experiences, splatter paint,
Okay.
drip bear, karaoke. We have 2 escape rooms.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. We have a smash room where you go in and smash like glass ornaments. You throw them at Targets, not Target, even though we
Right.
are boycotting Target.
Right. Okay.
But and that's it's really it.
That's
It's
lit. That
yeah,
sounds dope. So let's
yeah.
let's toast to a great conversation,
Mhm.
very enlightening conversation at that. Mm. Ooh, shoot,
This is good.
y'all. Y'all know I usually do wine, but for my special guest here, she requested whiskey. Because she says she's not a wine drinker. Why
Not at
not?
all.
What's going on with wine?
I don't like it. It makes me feel weird. Um,
Weird.
weird, like hungover before you're hungover.
That's
Spacey,
that's crazy. That's the
sluggish.
first I've ever heard that.
I can't do it. Wine or champagne. Mimosas. I had to give
No,
up mimosas.
and those are the best.
Yeah, but they put you to sleep.
Nah, it make me turn.
You go do brunch, Sunday fun day. You do brunch. You gotta get a nap in between, after brunch before heading
And
back
unless
out.
you just stay on 10, you just gotta
I can't.
stay
I gotta
stay
get
on
me a
10.
nap. I gotta get me a
So
nap.
I've heard people say like wine gives them headaches and stuff like that, but never heard feeling
Red wine
spacey.
gives me headaches.
Okay, it's probably like the sulfurs and all that. So I wasn't drinking. This is liquor too. Whiskey, Woodford Reserve, and I got the double oaked,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm a bartender, so I know about my little stuff. So I knew it was gonna have a mm, sweeter, sweetish taste to it. Um, Deep. You can smell like you can smell the maple. 'Cause it
That's
was
what it
it's
is.
the maple, yeah, yeah, it's
Hmm.
maple barrels. I think that's
This
what they
is really
yeah.
good.
So I went back and forth with myself because I was gonna drink some wine or some water, because I'm right there like liquor,
It's burning my chest though, but
yeah, because it's whiskey. So the dilemma was, if I crack a bottle of wine, I have to drink the whole thing. This how crazy my thought process is, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm like, if I crack a bottle of wine, I have to drink the whole thing because you can't really save wine. I don't know why people be wanting to put wine in the refrigerator. You can't do that. So if I drink the whole bottle of wine, I'll be drunk as fuck. I feel like shit tomorrow. But if I just have like a glass and a half, or maybe one of these, it won't be as bad. I won't really feel it at all. It won't be drunk.
but after we get done with this, are you gonna be texting your eaters?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Because
Just making
it's only be
sure.
like a
We
glass.
want you to stay on the right path.
That part.
Hmm.
So I'm drinking for you. Cheers. All right. So usually I ask people how do they date, but for people who are in relationships, my favorite question is, um, what made you say yes to that relationship? What about him, y'all situation, y'all chemistry, or plethora of everything in between there made you be like, you're like, yeah, this is the one.
Okay, so let me start off by saying my fiance does not like to wait on anything. So he's one of them. he moved fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be telling him, like, you gotta slow down. I gotta see if I like you before, like, hold on, I don't want to be your girlfriend yet.
Right,
Just
right,
let him tell it. As soon as we met, he like, we together, and I'm like, no, we're not. We gotta get to know each other. But really, what really did it for me is I had a manifestation list in my phone in my notes, and I had listed everything that I wanted in a man, and this is what I was manifesting. And I forgot my password, so I couldn't get in it. And I didn't real. This is way after I just unlocked it a couple months ago. But come to find out, he every
Oh, you checked every one of them, huh?
every box was checked on my manifestation list, and I mean, I felt like when we met and when we started developing the relationship, like it just felt different. And not one of those difference where, oh, this shit is different.
Right.
Can I cuss?
Yeah, we
Okay.
got to.
Oh, because you'll get with people and it's like, this is different.
Yeah.
No, this shit was really
Yeah, that's me on every relationship.
right.
I'm gonna drink
like,
to that.
This is different. This is different. But with him, I was like, you know what? This is different, and this is a good different. This is a different that I've never experienced. And so we didn't date for, let me see, we met in November of, what year are we in? 2025. So 2023. And we ended up making it official in December. So between then.
Wait, so hold on. One, you see how disrespectful that train is?
I hear it.
Like, why would you be laying on your horn that long, though?
You gotta block it out. I barely heard it. You a dad?
Well, my thing was the microphone, so I was picking that up. Hold on. Go back because I got lost in the dates. So we're 2025. You said November of
2023.
23
is when we met.
Y'all met.
December of 2023 is when we made it official.
So a month.
Yeah, a month.
Okay.
Which is really.
It made it seem like it was such a long time.
Well, it's fast for me, but
Okay.
when we actually backdated it, we went past that date, and I was like, you know what, we can go ahead, we can backdate it to a week ago.
Okay.
And so we ended up backdating it, but
so basically, he just checked the boxes before you even checked if he checked the boxes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that brings me to the first question, which is, what's the story of how y'all met?
We met on a dating site. I don't know if I should plug it or not, but we met on a dating site.
Nah, don't plug it.
I ain't plugging it.
What did you tell me? I'm gonna cut it out.
Hinge.
Okay, that's the one you gotta pay for.
No, it's free.
I think it's free for women. I think guys gotta pay.
No, they don't.
I don't fucking know. Go ahead.
Free.
So y'all met on a dating.
Cut that out. We ain't plugging them.
Y'all met on a dating app.
We met on a dating app on, I believe it was on a Monday. I was at work, and I went ahead. He matched with me. You better slow down.
That's the thing. I drink like a fish, and so you know what? Let me put it down because if it's in my hand.
Messages.
Nah, I ain't gonna send it. I'm be sorry.
I got a little juice. You
Nah.
Okay.
We ain't mixing that.
So we met on the dating app. I believe it was on a Monday, and one of my prompts on there was, I'm looking for, what are you looking for? And one of it said, I'm looking for an emotionally available man. I think it said a kind man, and a man that can feed me every day.
Okay.
And so he hit the match. I went ahead and accepted it. And his first message was something like, what's your cash app? Or you trying to go to lunch today? Or I check off all them boxes or whatever. I never sent him my cash app. I'm like, I don't do that. But we ended up going on our first date a couple days later. We went to Old Charlie's.
Okay. Shout out to Old Charlie's.
Yeah, we went to Old Charlie's.
I was sorry when they got rid of that rice pilaf. Is like rice and broccoli and cheese.
I'm not big on rice.
Oh, I am. That was my thing. I was Saudi. But that cedar salmon plank, I love that when I go there. I'm sorry.
It's the rolls for me.
The rolls will definitely do it every time. Yeah. So I went to Old Charlie's.
Went to Old Charlie's because
he picked that.
We figured it out. We picked it together because he only had a couple hours because he dropped off his kids and then he had like 2 hours to get them, and that was close to his house. So it just worked out,
Okay.
and it was just a quick little date. So
Okay.
we met, and on the dating website, which I'm not gonna name, um, he had on there that he loves Reese cups. It was like three different things. So I had Reese cups for him waiting because I beat him there, and so
Okay. That was
that's
nice
what
of
really
you.
locked him in.
Oh yeah.
I got game. I'm
Okay,
trying
I
to tell
see
you.
you. I see. Hey, y'all. She brought gifts. Like
I
that's
got
crazy.
yeah. I brought
Thoughtful gifts.
yes.
So you're a thoughtful gift giver.
I am.
See how I be trying. See, how I picked up on that. Like you
Yeah.
can pick up on love so much when you just have conversations with people.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
and especially when you're trying to. I didn't know if I was gonna like him or not. You know what I mean?
Still brought 'em.
But I still brought him
Yeah.
because it's a date.
Right.
Like you like Reese cups? Boom, here goes some Reese cups.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's what really locked them in was
Okay. So
Reese
just to go
cups.
back a little bit,
Okay.
let's talk about the dialogue. So did y'all plan like, hey, Thursday I have a 2 hour time slot. Do you want to go to O'Charlie's, or did he was like today? Like, hey, I got time today.
He had time the next day, which would have been on Tuesday, but I was like, I can't do that.
So
Like,
yeah, I thought about this like y'all talked
yeah.
about like the day before
So
or something like that.
we met on a dating site on a Monday, and our first date was on I think Thursday.
Okay.
So we were chit chatting all
Mhm.
through, and I could have had a date. So I'm not good with
No,
my
you
dates.
don't have to be
Yeah.
exact.
So, but it was within a few days.
Okay, okay,
So we had our first date.
okay. So boom, that's how y'all met, which
Hmm.
is interesting. So I asked that because like I do a thing where it's like I last minute somebody where it's like, hey, I got like a 2 hour window. Like you want to go grab some food real quick, buy a clip, then da da da. So I'm like, let's see how that
Sometimes that
conversation went.
works,
Yeah,
and it would have worked, but I had to take my daughter to work. My oldest daughter works, so I had to
mm,
take her to work. She works at a restaurant, so I wasn't for sure what time she would be off. So I was like, I can't do that today because I got to be able to get my daughter when she gets off work, which is why we didn't go that
that day.
that day that he
So
wanted to.
another question. You kind of sort of he checked your boxes for sure. I guess you subconsciously had the boxes in your head.
Hmm.
But let's say from the time y'all went changed information on the dating app to the time where you said yeah we go together. In that stretch of time, do you have I don't know certain requirements, tests, things you kind of subconsciously or consciously like make sure that he does like before you say yes to him being a boyfriend or taking the situation more serious?
Well, I don't have any tests. I ain't in the business of
That was just
test.
a
No.
yeah.
But a lot of people do have tests. That's
Uh,
what I'm saying. I don't have tests. Um, I just, for me, number one, you have to be consistent.
okay, so he was
So
there we go. So
you have to be
consistency is one
very
thing for you.
consistent. If you are not consistent, you gotta go. Number two, you cannot get on my nerves. If you get on my nerves in the beginning,
What's getting on your
he get on
nerves?
my nerves all the time now, but we locked in. It is, and when you get to know people, that's something natural.
Yeah,
But in the very beginning, if you are already on my nerves, you gotta go.
that's
It's not
funny.
gonna work. You didn't got on my nerves, so he didn't get on my nerves. He was very intentional. Like
Okay.
he was on it. And he was like, let's go on a date. We had our first date, then the next day we had our second date, and then the day after that we had our third date. The day after that we had our fourth date. Like
Right.
we dated all through that weekend. So you just have to be intentional. Like if you're a man and you say one thing, stick to it.
That
Because
part.
once you don't, I'm gonna be looking at you like, okay, well you ain't about your word.
Yeah,
So
for
what
sure.
can I really do with you? So yeah.
Okay. That gave me a little insight.
All right, question for you. If someone was trying to shoot their shot with you, what's the best way to do it?
Bring me Reese cups. I do love Reese cups too, though. But I'm more of a direct person, like subliminals, subtle gestures or subtle compliments or subtle flirting. It don't work with me because like I'm so anti-thirsty guy. Like I don't think every woman who says you dress nice is wants to fuck me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so for me, you gotta be kind of very direct. Like, hey, you seem like an interesting person. I'd like to get to know you. Be direct. I mean, in the same breath, like we're grown now. We're in our 30s and hitting 40s, so it's like,
Oh yeah.
let's be just grown and just be direct. Yeah, so just come correct.
And well, hold on. I have a question about that because from my experience, I'm a very direct person.
Hmm.
And from my experience, a lot of men they do say, be direct. I want a woman that's direct. But when they really come across one, it's like, whoa, you're a little bit too direct. So do you really want a woman that is direct with you?
If I have to be honest here, the first of all, there's levels to direct. There's aggressive as fuck, and then there's just direct.
I think it's a thin line though between that.
Nah,
Because I
it's some gray in there.
it's a little
A lot of
gray.
gray, a
You
lot of
know,
gray. I
what's
say a lot of gray.
aggressive to you
Aggressive
may
is
not be
damn,
aggressive to the next
damn.
guy.
I want you. Da da da. That's pretty aggressive.
Is that aggressive or is that just
No,
direct? She's
that's
telling you, she's
aggressive.
skipping all that and she like, I want you, what's up?
That's
What you
aggressive.
trying to do?
Granted, if someone really attractive said that, I would be like, what's up? Like, I would probably be taken aback for a second. Like,
So
she
it
being
only
aggressive.
works if they're attractive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because usually the most aggressive ones and the most direct ones are not attractive at all.
Really?
Yeah. They just be having the highest confidence, and I don't know. They just don't give a fuck. I don't know, but it be like that with. Don't it be like that with men? Like when you think about like the most aggressive ones, they be like, "Nigga, do you brush your teeth?"
You know what?
Don't be like that.
I'm usually more aggressive than any man I ever come across.
I mean,
If I'm
granted,
being honest.
I'm talking about like just the DMs. Like, granted, you might not even go to their
Well, I
page
will
though.
say I don't know if aggressive would be the word. I think the audacity of men.
See the
I would use
audacity
that word.
of the
Yeah,
women.
the
It's like,
audacity is like, why would you even?
why would you?
What
You thought that?
me? And why would you even?
But I'm not conceited though. I ain't conceited or none of y'all.
No, I don't.
But like, come on now.
Come on now.
So yeah, like it's usually those who are the most aggressive. Like
Okay.
it's very rare
Okay.
for an attractive woman to just be like, "Wow, you are handsome. Let's go to lunch," or something like that. Yeah, but just be direct. Um, what's something quirky your partner does that you secretly love though? You say he gets on your nerves though, but what's something he do, but you don't let him know that you kind of like you like it, but
Oh, I don't. I let him know everything. Let me think.
mm,
My fiance, he's kind of. He probably don't like me saying this, but he's a little awkward. I'm sure
okay,
he doesn't think he's awkward, but it's awkward cute. Like
okay,
I don't even
okay,
think he knows he can be a little awkward, but he can be a little awkward.
okay, and
But
it's cute
I
to you.
like it. It's cute.
All right,
It's cute.
that's nice.
Ooh, this is a good one. What's a dating trend you wish would disappear forever?
Okay, I think I just made a post about it today. A dating trend that I wish would disappear forever is every time some new viral dating buzzword comes out, people just hop on it.
Like love
Like,
bombing?
yeah, that's a new one. Emotional intelligence. That came out. Everyone, I want an emotional intelligent man. I want an emotional intelligent woman. Da da da. When they're not even, they don't even qualify. They're not even meeting that mark. They haven't even done the work on themselves. They just want to say this is what they want in a person. But as soon as they're triggered, all that emotional intelligence is like non-existent. So
Yeah.
I wish people would stop hopping on every buzz dating buzzword and adding it to their requirements that they don't even meet for real.
Yeah.
Hate it.
A lot of people don't understand how trash they are,
Okay. Mm, that part. Drink to that.
especially women.
Mm.
Now, there's a lot of good women, and I'm surrounded by them, and I am one. But as a woman, I do know there are a lot of women that they are trash, straight trash.
I'm weak as fuck.
But they feel like he got to do this, that.
And they don't
What
even
you doing? What you got?
that part.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Just you got a fat ass.
that part.
Mhm.
But yeah, we ain't gonna talk about them.
Okay.
We're on positive messaging.
Yes. No, that was positive.
Yeah.
Women,
Get it
dig
together.
deep down into yourself. And I'm a woman, so I'm only speaking on women. I'm not a man. But dig deep down into yourself and, hold yourself accountable and make sure that you are putting out what you want to receive.
That part, for sure.
Positivity.
Yeah, there we go. There is
Hmm.
the message. Hmm. What's something unique about your relationship that you think makes it special, more special than any of the others?
The others that I've been in.
Yeah.
Um,
What makes this more unique?
we love the same way.
Hmm.
And he'll say that I
Like I got
know
the same love languages
the same love languages we do, which is quality time and acts of service. It's for both of
and
us.
thoughtful gifts.
Thoughtful gifts. Um, but I know if you ask him, he'll say, well, she's the first woman we love the same way. And so everything is just very reciprocal with us.
I
It's,
love
it's
reciprocation.
natural. You got to have it.
Gotta have it.
It's supernatural. Everything just flows.
Hmm.
It's always reciprocal. It's always us giving to each other. Just boom, boom, ping pong, boom,
Right,
boom.
right, right,
We
right.
always give to each other. So it's never really like take, take,
Right.
take. You know what I mean? So it's very balanced.
That's what's up because you know what's so crazy after my last relationship, I added that to my little checklist. I think that I'm
Reciprocation?
well, I think I'm better compatible with someone who shows love how I like to receive love
Hmm.
automatically. I don't have to walk them through. 'Cause the last two, I when we had the love language conversation, like the last one, so my love language is thoughtful gifts and acts of service or whatever. So the thoughtful gifts part was new to both of them. They act like it was just such a task to just be thoughtful and get a gift. Um, so the last one was like, oh, how does it work? Do I have to do it like once a month? Like, how often do I got to do it? I'm like, just be thoughtful. Like, it doesn't have to be a certain
Well,
time
it's not
frame or
natural for
whatever.
everyone.
That part. Um, and then the one before that just thought that giving was a masculine trait and receiving was feminine trait. So like she just felt like
Mm,
she shouldn't need to give me anything at all.
yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I think if I next person I meet has to be someone who the way they show love is thoughtful gifts and acts of service. I think that we will mesh better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
And hearing that, like, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, and people need to, I don't think people understand that when it comes to the love languages, you have to feed into each other's love
Hmm.
languages. Like,
For sure.
because I'm not don't get me wrong, I think everyone loves and appreciates gifts, but I can do without gifts.
Okay.
I
So
want
that's
to
a
be in
lower.
your
There we
skin.
go. That's a lower one. You know, some
That's a
people it's
lower
not
one. No,
levels.
quality time
Is
and
number one.
acts of
There we
service.
go. The number two.
So put me in your skin and
Okay.
li- send me lunch if we on the phone and I'm having a bad day. And that's the things that he would do.
Yeah.
Like we would be on the phone. Well, I mean, obviously we work together now, but prior to, and I'd be like, "Oh, these people getting on my nerves," and I would check my phone half an hour later, and he done sent me lunch,
Right.
$20, $30, $40,
Right.
whatever. Get some lunch, and you having a bad day, but stuff like that, like you know.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, what's an underrated first date idea that more people should try?
I talk about it in my book. Some sort of activity that helps you get to understand them and y'all as a whole. For example, an escape room. You know, holla at my peoples.
Holla at
Definitely.
us.
Matter of fact, I need to plug that in there. Um, that way you understand. Like, are you dealing with a stupid motherfucker? Like, y'all
I'm gonna
both
tell
trying to
you
figure out
now,
this
I ain't
little.
no good at escape room.
There's a difference between not being good and just being stupid as fuck.
Mm.
Most escape rooms is just kind of follow the clues, blah blah blah, blah like the Saw fucking movie. So it's the difference of a motherfucker like, man, for this stupid as fuck, I don't want to do this. Like, okay, well, that person doesn't handle stress well, blah blah. Like doing something other than fucking dinner,
Yeah.
Jeff Ruby's, cooking. Take a cooking class as a first date. How do y'all work together in the kitchen? Do they even know how to cook? Are they like controlling? Like, no, I'm just gonna do it. Like you can learn so much more about someone by doing actual activities outside of dinner and movies and other frivolous kind of shit. So that's a first date win-win right there.
Now, these activities are interesting to me because I would not want to do any of them. Now, my
What?
fiance loves escape rooms, and we went to Vegas for the Lovers and Friends festival. They canceled it while we was on a plane,
That's
but
crazy.
we had already scheduled to go. I had set us up to go to they have a Saw escape room out in Vegas
Oh, that
because he
sounds
loves
lit.
escape rooms. So
Yeah.
we went in. I'll do them for him.
Right.
But if we was to do that on the first day, he might have been like, I ain't never hang with this bitch again. And
Dang,
then
she don't want
cooking,
to do
I don't
nothing.
want to cook with you.
Why not?
I don't like cooking with people.
Why
I
not?
just don't. They're in the way. They don't know what they
So
doing.
you like being controlled in the kitchen?
I like cooking when I'm cooking because I know how to cook. Get out of my way
What
and
if they
just
know how to
let me
cook
do
too?
it.
Y'all can't cook together?
Well, my fiance don't know how to cook, so no, move. But I will
Right.
say, I'm not one of them that would turn it down. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If he said, "Well, let's go do an escape room," I
Right,
wouldn't be
right,
like, "I hate that. I'm not going."
right,
I would go, and I would just be like, because it's something that he likes to do,
right, right.
so I'm okay with that. I would do
Okay.
the cooking class, and
Yeah.
you know,
But it's cool too, cause like escape room, it can also, show just a little gem for the ladies. It can show if you're dealing with a leader or not.
mhm,
So if he in there and it's a group of people and he just kind of sit back and let everybody else get the clues and get the shit, like
yeah,
like, oh, he ain't no leader. This is the real juice right here. This is the real tea right here.
okay,
This is what I really want to know and kind of selfishly want to understand how the real ins and out of relationships and stuff like that. One, let's start with what's something your partner did that made you realize they were different from anyone else, if anything. But
I mean, it's so much, because he is completely different from anyone I've ever dated.
mm,
And really, it's the simple things that are lacking on the dating scene, like we were talking about earlier. Just being intentional, like being a man of your word,
right,
being consistent, showing up. Uh, Me not having to ask,
okay,
you already, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he already coming with it, and it's everything is reciprocal. I want to make that clear.
right,
So it's very, we bounce off of each other, and he is a leader. He's in tune with himself. He's not afraid to express himself. Um, you know, he loves me, and
okay,
he is not. He gonna let everybody know
that part,
this my wife.
okay,
So it's just him, just all around, honestly. And it's the things that you would think would be a what's the word? It would be a normal thing that you would receive
right,
from
right, right,
someone that's trying to date you.
that
But
part,
these things, they're not there. They're lacking.
mm,
Like, and he's not afraid to be vulnerable. That's
that part.
another thing.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of men
very important.
are afraid to be vulnerable,
Hmm.
and it can't work. If you can't be vulnerable with me, what we doing?
That part.
Like, you have to be. They're afraid to be uncomfortable. They don't like having uncomfortable
A lot of
conversations.
people are.
A lot of
A lot
people.
of people aren't.
But you have to have
You
these
have
things.
to
You have to.
in order to have a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Interesting. I like that.
mhm. Right. What's the hardest part about dating in today's world?
Mm. The list is so long.
Start from the top.
Sheesh. We could start with social media.
Mm.
One. And not even social media in the sense of like it's interference, quote unquote, with relationships, but like just how people are taking what they see on these podcasts from these single ass people telling them what they should and shouldn't accept, and what type of man they should have, and what level they are at 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, da da da
$30 for lunch, that's not enough.
type shit. A man need to show you within the first week that he wants you by doing X, Y, Z. Like that shit. Oh, I wish would fucking end and die off ASAP. And that's what's
Unrealistic
really,
expectations.
really, that's what's really been detrimental to dating. Luckily, I haven't ran into that, but just seeing everybody else's stories and just being online and hearing it and seeing it is just like y'all are so fucking lost out here in the sauce that it don't even make no sense. Like how lost people really are out here. So yeah, that's definitely one of the detriments to dating right now.
Mm,
Let's put this back.
mm.
For sure. All right, here we go. This is what I really want to know because for me, when the times get tough in a relationship, like I'm not saying I'd be ready to bounce, but I'd be like, baby, we can end this right now, and I'm gonna go back to my regular life. But what's the most recent big argument you and your partner had, and how did y'all resolve it? And I mean, I need the big one, the one that maybe I didn't think y'all was gonna make it out of at the end. Like, if y'all had one,
Um,
y'all like what 15? You said 15 months in.
15 months. So honestly, we have not had an argument that big to where we felt like we
We're not
wasn't
gonna
gonna
make
make
it.
it
Y'all
through.
ain't had nothing like that.
No, because the thing is, we ain't never breaking up.
So okay, so what about an argument or a disagreement or
We
a,
have disagreements
not
every day.
in a alignment where anything where you would like maybe thought about questioned it like is this gonna work? Is this my person? They think like this and I think like that. Like
You know what? Honestly, with him, I've never felt that way.
okay,
And
dang, I wanted something juicy. I
he
wanted the
works, he really works my nerves. He really does. And I work his. Um, but I feel like he's worth it. He feels like I'm worth it. So really, we've never gotten to the point where it was like, you ain't my person.
okay. Let's go step down then. Let's
Step
go.
down, because if not me, who?
Let's step down to maybe not like relationship ending or is you my person, not my person, but like what's a major argument y'all have had or disagreement y'all had that made y'all clash?
Well, we clash over. We have the 5 kids, so we parent completely different.
There we go.
Completely different because my oldest is 18. She just turned 18 in February. My middle daughter will be 15 tomorrow.
Okay, happy birthday.
Shout out to Nyla. And then my youngest daughter, I have 3 girls. She turned 8 in August, and so I have teenagers.
Right.
When he came into the relationship, he had a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old. They're 8 and 9. So my youngest and his 2 youngest, they're all around the same age. So it's kind of you dealing with the kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
These teenagers are completely different, and he don't get it.
Oh yeah, they real different these days.
They different. So we clash on that because he'll be like, well, why'd you do that? I'm like, I ain't worried about that. I ain't dealing with that.
Right.
You gotta pick your battles. And for him, it's like, no, it's this, that, and the other. I said, if you gonna do that, you gonna be fighting with them every single day. And then the attitudes, he cannot get with the attitudes. And he takes it personally because he's so sweet. He's such a good man and he's an amazing father. And so when he walk in and they're not all, well, hey, he's like, dang, I'm like, it's just them.
Right.
It's just them. But we'll clash over that. We'll, clash over them going places, them not going places, the way I'm handling it, because he would handle it different. And I try and tell him, you're going to learn one day. Because I'm like, respectfully, you new to this.
Yeah.
I've been doing this with these teenagers, and men are a lot more sensitive when it comes to their daughters.
Oh, I am one of them. For
So
sure.
you know what I'm saying.
For
So
sure.
it's harder for y'all. As for women, we already know. I be like, I don't give a fuck about what she mad about today. Don't know, don't care. But him, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? You didn't sit her down and talk to her? No, I did not.
She's a
And
teenage
I'm not
girl,
going
like,
to.
yeah.
Like, so we do clash on that. I mean, we also clash on things for the business.
Yeah, that's
Because he be up here and I be down here. And he'll get his vision and he lose his mind and be like, I'm gonna spend $10,000 on that. No, you're not.
Right.
Did you do any research? Did
Right,
you
there we
research
go,
this
okay.
company? Did you look at the
Yeah, yeah,
reviews?
yeah.
So we'll go back and forth about that. But
That's about it.
you know, that's about it. You know, we and I stayed mad longer than him, which is a really it's good and bad because he'll be over something, he'll piss me off, and then 5 minutes later he'll be over it and he'll be trying to have a regular conversation. I'm like, I'm not fucking with you right now. Not at all.
Like, nah, little buddy, give
And
me a
he's
little
like,
more time.
like,
Baffled.
you got to give me time. I'm not you. We process it differently. We deal with it differently. Just because you are over it doesn't mean I'm over it. So, but that's really it.
Oh, that makes sense.
How do you personally decide if someone is worth pursuing long term?
Being a lover boy that I am, I find myself. I don't talk like that though. I find myself like I used to like over fantasize too early. Um, so I'm dealing with that. I've dealt with that now. But going forward, I'm going to take things a little bit slower and make sure that they, one, we gotta go through my book. I told some girl that I was like, yeah, we're gonna like it's over 600 questions in here. We ain't gonna go through all of them, but we gotta kind of go through. It's like, you gonna give me a quiz? Like I don't like that. Like, I'm like, well, you're not my type. If you can't sit down and just answer questions and we go back and forth, like in a friendly matter of like just asking each other these questions from this book. Um, but they have to check the box, like I said, make sure that they give love how I receive love. Definitely have to make sure that they reciprocate energy. That's a big one for me. And there's a few other things that I have on my list where it's like, one, I have to stop over fantasizing. Because, like, me, when I meet somebody, first they look good. I'm like, dang, she fine as fuck. Like, shorty. Like, then once we go through the little preliminary stuff, like, oh, and she's funny. I'm smitten. Like, I get smitten so easily.
Oh, I know.
Like, I get smitten so easily. Like, as soon as they like pop a joke, like, oh, you're funny. Like, I love a great personality. Like, so now it's like, okay, they're funny. Okay, cool. Like, being a lot more calm, cool, collective, letting the relationship breathe, live in the moment.
You've learned to relax a little bit.
Learn to relax a lot of bit. I used to be a little bit over, but now like I just have these certain few little requirements now to kind of make sure the woman checks those few boxes before I be like, okay, let's take this a little bit more serious. I'm still gathering the boxes though, for real, for real. So I'm still kind of putting them together because that's why I have the show.
Yeah,
I'm gathering boxes. I'm adding boxes. I'm taking some boxes away. Like I used to be really bad. I used to have like a checklist test, unspoken test. That it was the worst. Unspoken test, unspoken expectations. It was crazy. That was years ago though, so I've gotten so much better. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. If any, what was the biggest hesitation you had before committing, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest hesitation was getting into the relationship for me after a month is fast. So I was hesitant on that, but for whatever reason, everything was just flowing how it needed to, and it just felt like I was saying earlier, it just felt like different, like
Right.
really different. And so, but I was very hesitant in the beginning because he was like, "We gonna do this," and I was like, "You gotta pump your brakes, please." And
Right.
I'm like, I have to decide. I said, let's fit, because he was trying to plan stuff for 2 months out. I said, how you know we're gonna still like each other? And that offended him.
I'm
And I was
weak.
like, I mean, we gotta make sure we like each other before
Right.
you start planning a trip in 2 months.
Right.
Like, but
That's right. A month is pretty. Like I move. People say I move fast. A month is fast as
he moves
shit.
fast. He does. He has a history of moving
Mm.
fast. But he moved fast with the right one, I should say.
I got that. I guess that's the variable.
Yeah, you know, if everything meshes, and I feel like, and I always say this, it can feel like something is moving fast, but it also can feel like it's at the right pace with the right person.
That part. And that's what. So my social media friends, I shout them out every time I bring this up. But they said so like when I posted my last relationship, like, oh, you moving too fast. Slow down. You moving too fast. Da da da. Da. And I'm right there like I'm moving at the pace that it's going.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, now I see how we kind of moved too quick, but I think they were just more so than anything just saying like how I posted her so quick, we posted each other
Yes.
so quick, how I talk about her and like, oh, this is the one, y'all, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, like I would say, like you should always go with the flow because as soon as you interrupt flow, like water, wind, anything else, as soon as you put a dam up, what happens? The water goes around it and it starts destroying things around it, and then you try to bring the water back. It never comes back to its original flow. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't like interrupting the flow. So the flow is on the flow. But I did promise them that the next one I won't post until like at least like 7, 8 months.
Yeah. I mean,
Because they get so attached to them too. They be following them on social media. They fall in love with them too. So I'm like, all right, if they make it, because nobody makes it past like 8 months with me. So I made it past 8 months. And my daughter's 13. So probably like 14, 13 years.
that's
Mm.
interesting because prior to my
Man, what's taking
fiance and then my relationship before my fiance, niggas wasn't making it past 2 weeks with me.
Damn, 2 weeks
You
is
was getting
crazy.
cut off because you get on my nerves, or if you display
Your nerves
something,
must be fucking
they're bad.
thin as
Yeah,
shit.
they are.
Well,
You
give me
cannot get
give me like 3 examples of something getting on your nerves. Like the
um.
what you think with the smallest thing that you like, man, people clown me for this, but it gets on my nerves. Like what's the smallest
So
shit?
shout out to my good friend Sharnice, Sade. She always brings this up because there was this guy years ago. I don't remember his name. I don't remember anything about him. We never went on a date, nothing like that.
Uh
We met at, you remember Celebrities?
huh. I used to work there.
Okay, so we met at, I believe it was Celebrities. I was out, I think, with my best friend Tina. Shout out to Tina. Um, we met there, and I gave him my number that night. And then in the morning, I had a text at like 6 a.m. You done lost your mind. Don't you ever.
He got on your nerves because he texted you at 6 a.m. What did it
You
say?
don't
Just
know
good
me.
morning.
Good morning. I don't remember what he
Maybe
said.
he was getting up for
He was
work.
up. He was at the gym. I don't care. I don't care. It's too early. You
That's gonna
just
be a
got my number.
that's gonna be a snippet right there.
You
He
just
texted you at 6 a.m. You
6
said
a.m.
block.
I told him politely. I said, "Don't you ever text me at 6 in the morning. I'm up trying to get
That's
my children ready for school."
crazy.
He's like, "Well, I didn't know." In hindsight, looking back on it, I probably could have been a little nicer about it. But this is what it was. This was
Right.
me. So I've, relaxed a lot since then. Cause I mean, that was probably, I don't know, over 10
Relaxed
years
a
ago.
lot. I mean, you say, yo, Beyonce gets on your nerves
So
every
he
day.
gets on my
So
nerves a lot.
your nerves must just be give me two more things that's or one more thing that's like
Um,
y'all talk about, y'all bring up, or you like, man, maybe that's kind of extreme, but I don't give a fuck.
With my fiance
With your
or just with
nerves, with your
my
nerves,
nerves?
period. They seem so thin.
That they're thin. They are. They are. I get irritated, and it's and you know what? Let me make this clear. I am not putting this on the men because it's really me.
Oh, I know that already.
It's
We
really
we
me.
know that motherfucker text you at 6 a.m. and you block them like what?
I
Like
didn't block them. I just told them, too
you got
early
your
for that.
nerves. You
Too
say the
early
fucking
for
yeah.
that. You know what? Another thing that gets on my nerves is not paying for my food.
As in like what? Like splitting a check? Like we out?
We're not splitting nothing.
That's what I mean. Like out and then you
If
like
you are dating me, for example, and I can use an example, I had met this guy on a dating site, super, super, super cool. Don't remember his name, but he wasn't from here, but he was a really nice guy. And so he lived probably 45 minutes from here. And I went up there and we went to a festival. Now, this was our first date. I went up, drove up there. We went to a festival. It's like a food truck festival, whatever. And we're going to food trucks. He like, I'm gonna go to this one. I'm like, okay, cool. I think I'm gonna go to this one. So I waited him with this one. I go to the other one. He pull out his card to pay for my food. This is the first date. What you doing?
that's a thin line right there.
Is it really?
Mm,
I drove
mm.
up to meet you.
Wow,
The
that's
least
a
you can
hard one
do
right there.
on a date. Adam,
Yeah,
you don't pay for dates. You don't pay for
wait. I just
food.
said the circumstances at hand here. We're granted perspective. There we go. Learn perspective plays a huge part in the world. So his perspective was probably like, we just cool and we going to a festival.
You gotta go.
So if I have some girl come down here and like it's like we've shown
But
interest in
this
each
was a
other,
date.
then yes, I'm gonna be like, let's go to this food truck. I'm gonna go to that food truck. I'm gonna try some of that food. You're gonna try some of my food. I would have paid for everything. Yeah, for sure.
As you should, cause what?
But I can see his like, okay, you're gonna go over there. I would have thought you would go over there, and I would have been over here, and then we would have just met back in the middle. Yeah,
No,
but
it didn't work like that. Not paid for my
okay.
own food,
But
but
you would like
that
that.
was strike one.
That
No,
was
all
okay.
right. And he didn't pay for it one more time, and that was it for me. He never saw me again.
I get it. Okay,
You
that makes
gotta
sense.
go. Let me see. What's another one? I'm not as bad as I used to be, so it's kind of hard for me to really.
Bring them up.
Now my friends, they got them. They be ready. Tiff used to do this. She used to
Ah,
say this. She was like, she was so mean. But I don't know. I think that's really it. And oh, another thing that really irritates me. Don't keep asking me the same questions.
oh yeah, I hate that too.
Don't keep every day you text me. Don't ask me how's work. What you doing at work?
Oh
Same thing I was doing yesterday.
yeah, I hate that. Oh yeah, I would. That would get on my
You
nerves
gotta
too.
go.
All right, is it on me or you? I think it's on you.
What's a lesson from your past relationships that changed how you date now?
I learned that I show all of my cards too soon.
Too soon. Hmm.
I I know why I do because I'm writing a memoir too. When the memoir come out, that's gonna be the one. That's gonna be like it's like 200-300 pages. My life from a childhood and how it relates to how I grew up to how I date now
Hmm.
and everything in between there. And
That's
then
interesting.
the last like I think the chapters are like the last 4 or 5 women that I talked to and or dated. Why I liked them, what attracted me to them, and what how it went to shit. And then that's where I learned about the test and unspoken test that I'd be giving people. Um, but after that one, I learned like, okay, Adam, I don't have to show all my cards up front. I'm talking like I'm chivalrous. I'm a good man. I'm a provider. I'm a protector. I'm a blah blah blah. I'm showing you all this
You gotta
stuff,
hold back a little bit.
and I do it in a sense where just because I'm an all or nothing type of person. And what I found with that one was I was doing so much of that up front that I didn't take into inventory my cup status. Like, was she pouring back into me? Was she reciprocating energy? Da da da. Like, so once I get to a point, and that's what was kind of like with my past and why people didn't last longer than like 3 4 months is because that was a pattern I had. I would show all my cards up front. Then at some point, I wasn't petty. Like the third month, the third gift or whatever, it was just at some point within the third, the fourth or fifth month, I would be like, damn, I've been doing all of this, showing, showing, showing. And I'm like, what have I gotten other than some coochie?
Yeah.
Or a meal. And then I'm like, let me pull back. Then I scale back hella, like damn near just come over, come over, come over, come over, and that's it. And then you be like, oh, why we ain't went on a date? Why you ain't playing one?
Right.
Oh, I didn't know I needed to plan one. What? Got on my nerves. Cut off.
You gotta go.
So that's how I used to be. So I learned don't show all of my cards up front. Then one of the after the last relationship, I learned that I need. I think I would be best suited for because we draw lines in the sand. I would be best suited for someone who shows love the way I receive love, and we'd be a better match together. And because if they show love how I receive love, then we already reciprocate energy, and we're already in sync there. So those are the biggest lessons I learned from the last two relationships.
And to piggyback off of that, I think it's important for people to know, and this is okay, that every relationship you have should be beneficial to you in some type of way.
That part.
If you are getting zero benefits, what you doing?
What are we
And
doing
it goes both ways. It should be beneficial, and this is a work relationship, friendship. I mean, any type of relationship.
Facts.
It should be beneficial to you in some type of way.
And what's so crazy, I'll take that a step further because one of my last guests, this is another thing that I added to my little checkbox. Like I said, after these interviews, I'll be adding things to my checkbox. In that kind of dating stage, as we get closer to being a little bit more serious, she had said how she asked like, "What's the goal of this relationship?" I'm like, that's a good one right there because
Yeah, what's your intention?
what is the goal here? What, just girlfriend boyfriend? Or are we trying to build an empire? Are we trying to create something? We trying to what I mean? Like, what's the goal for this relationship? So I added that too. So interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, our relationship just been so peachy. I mean,
It is.
it's,
I'm sorry.
like new guests. Like
It's
like
so
nah.
amazing.
You know what's so crazy though?
I've had some shitty relationships though. Let's
But
not
you know
get it twisted.
what's so crazy, and this is something that I talked about previous, but like I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I just had this like I don't know realization or just thought that popped into my head because I kind of sort of thought back to great grandparent days, Earl and Bethel or whatever. I don't think people back then were like, oh my, like okay, some people. I think dating looks different for everybody, and this is the reason why I have different people, all ages on here, all backgrounds on here because the dating looks different for different people. The thought came to my mind like maybe instead of being this man looking for my person, being this lover boy, thinking that I'm going to find this woman who just fits to my life like a puzzle piece, and it's going to feel like this is my person from the jump. Maybe I'm really more so should be on the other end of it, where it's like finding someone who, how to say this without sounding crazy as fuck, finding someone who we look good on paper in a sense, and then we just kind of build something from there. In a sense, y'all seem like y'all had like, oh, this is my person kind of experience, which is great. But I'm like, maybe if I stop trying to be like, find my person, and be like, let me date this person because okay, they're attractive, of course, they check. But even though I might not feel like this is my person, because that's where what be getting me. Like the people I date, I feel like this is my person for one reason or another. The connection.
But they never are.
They be until they fuck up.
No, then that means they never were.
I know, but they get to a point where they fuck up.
Mhm.
But if I date someone in the sense of like, okay, they don't feel like my person, but they check out my boxes, they have their shit together, they blah 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 blah. Hmm, let's see where this goes. I think I might have a better outcome.
So I have a theory on this. Um, and let me see if I can articulate it how I want to. My theory is because we're kind of the same in that way where I don't like people that often. So when I like somebody, it's like, oh, I really like them. And I've come to find out that I think we end up kind of in the Lulu land because there are unhealthy attachments.
Mm-hmm.
And when there are unhealthy attachments and connections that we may not realize,
Right.
it makes everything spicier. Like,
For sure.
it makes everything spicier. So you confuse that with chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why a lot of people, when they meet people and they hit it right off and everything is great, sex is great, this is great, that's great, da 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 da. I think it's because there's a lot of unhealthy attachments there, and it's being confused with chemistry, and there are things that we are overlooking because we get caught up in this. No, I think that this is my person. Like, they're checking off this, they're not checking off this, that, and the other, but I may not ever find somebody that's gonna check everything off. So once you get with somebody and it's like, especially when they better than the last one.
That part.
They're better than the last one.
Because I always upgrade. Hey,
You know what
I
I'm
always
saying?
upgrade. You
And
hear
that's
me?
usually how it goes. You're with somebody and you're like, I really like them. It didn't work out, but they check off this, that, and the other. And it's like, it didn't work out. But then you get the next one and you're like, oh, they check off this, that, the other, that.
Uh-huh.
So everyone is getting better. So you're like, dang, you know what? This may be it. This may be it. And I can look back on my past relationships and realize that I had so many unhealthy attachments. And I don't even want to say it was an unhealthy relationship because it was healthy. It was respectful, but there were attachments there that was keeping us dealing with each other that really should have just been scissor and cut off. You know what I mean?
That's interesting because, so for me, I'm aware of attachment styles and issues and stuff like that. But for me, I can honestly say that the last two wasn't nothing near that really like attached per se. Maybe in hindsight, let me think. So no. I think it was more so like you said before, like the next one checked off this box, this box, this box, this box, but this box, and I think for me that's more so where I get attached to those type of things more so than any other kind of like frivolous thing or the sex or whatever case may be. So it's like once they check off these boxes, like for example, my most recent ex, like the fact that she in her notes in her phone had like a list of my things that I liked, foods, thoughtful gifts, blah blah, being very thoughtful. And she actually got me thoughtful gifts. Granted, she had to ask me like, "Do I need to do this every once a month?" But it was the fact that she.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah, it was the fact that she
tried.
and that's all I asked for. Once you try, like, cool, we can work with everything else after that. Like, but like that's what made me work. Like, maybe this is the one because she's taking initiative to actually have this list of things that I like in her phone, so that way she don't, you know, mess up and or she makes sure she, every now and then gives me lasagna or whatever because her mama made it because she couldn't cook lasagna.
Cause she cooked.
And so with that, I'm like, yeah. So it was just like that's what made me attach a little bit more to her because I'm like, this is different than the last. It's better than the last, and she's putting this effort into my love language and da da da. I think I'm just too much of a lover boy. I think I need to scale back.
So I feel you wholeheartedly. I feel you because I'm a lover girl,
the
but
opposite.
you do have to scale it back.
But it's so hard because I'm an all or nothing person.
I am as well, but You
I
gotta.
don't play in the middle.
I,
It's too hard.
it's hard. It's hard. But sometimes when you go too in, it's like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
Mm.
And now, too deep in.
Yeah, granted, in hindsight, like, oh, and that was the other thing. Like, so for example, with both of them, the reason why we broke up, it was prevalent in the beginning. But me thinking I'm so different, well, me
Mm.
being different, I didn't say I think it because they said it as well, like, you're different. Me being different, I figure, like, well, they're going to see that I'm different. They'll see I'm a good man, I'm a leader, I'm a provider, blah, blah. And that's going to make them just
Yeah.
soften up and listen, be that baby that sits down and listen. Because that's all I need is a little baby to sit down and listen. Like, just listen, and we're gonna make it through all of this shit. But then, like, in hindsight, like I said, I look at why we broke up and I see, like, in the beginning, she said
Signs
that
were
shit.
there. Yeah.
She said that she didn't giving was masculine energy and receiving was feminine energy. I just thought that she was on change for me.
Yeah. A lot of us do. And people typically show you who they are in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's on us if we accept it, but a lot of times we feel like
Them red flags is
our
yellow.
love is so strong, we so dope, we so this that
Mm-hmm.
nah, it ain't gonna be like that. They gonna shift, they gonna transition, they're gonna
Right.
change,
They're
and
gonna see that this is
it
better.
doesn't happen because they are them.
But you know what's crazy? I also blame my female best friends. Fuck y'all.
Ooh,
Say nah. So
say their names.
I love y'all. I love y'all. Because they told me to give more grace. Because I didn't give grace.
Well, I don't think that's bad advice though. I don't think giving more grace is bad advice.
So I see that as giving grace. Like for example, when me and my ex had to talk, I think maybe the second or maybe third month in about love languages, and she told me that I gave her grace. Did I give her grace, or did I actually?
You should let her go at that.
Did I give her
3 months.
grace, or did I just actually fantasize that I can make her?
That's what I'm saying. We
change?
get delusional. We get
I got delusional.
we get
Okay.
delusional. Everyone does it,
there.
whether they can admit it or not. We all get delusional.
For sure. All right. How do you keep the spark alive after being together for a while? Granted, y'all still kind of new with 15 months, but
We're still new, but I'm the spark keeper.
okay.
So
Sparky.
yeah, I'm Sparky. He is very career oriented. He likes to work. He's a provider.
That's fun.
So it's like make money, make money, make money. I'm the opposite. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna live my life. I hate working. I hate working. I do it because I have to.
Right.
Now granted, he work a lot more than me. He work more than me, so I don't really have to. I only work a couple days a week. But I keep the spark alive. I make sure that he sits down. A lot of people don't know how to sit down, and he's one of them.
Because when we sit down,
I'm sat.
When we're that driven, like when we sit down, we feel like we're being unproductive. We feel like there's something I could be doing right now for my business progression.
My favorite thing to do is relax. People FaceTime me, where you at? You know where I'm at? In my bed. I love it. And so I tell him, it's cool to work. I get it. But you have to take time for yourself. Mm-hmm. We have to take time for us. To recharge. Because that's another thing, like the quality time. Mm-hmm. And now this goes into the love languages. Right. What's quality time? Because for him, quality time was us working together. I said, nigga, this ain't quality time.
You here, baby? You in my presence. Like, but what's the problem?
And we love working together. Don't get me wrong, but for me, that's not quality time. Right. Because we got customers, we doing work stuff. Right. So I keep the spark alive. I make sure we go on our dates. Okay. And he's so sweet. Shout out to my man. He has a reminder in his phone every night that goes off at 10 p.m. that says quality time. Because we had got into it one time about the whole work. Work is not quality time. And he's like, well, and so now he has a reminder in his phone. Like, make sure he gets that quality time in, because it's very important for me to get it. So we take our dates. We take vacations, which is something that he wasn't never really trying to do. You know what I mean? But these are things that are important, and us getting time alone outside of work and outside of our children,
That part.
we have to.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you know, and he's good about it, but I keep it going. I keep it going for
Okay.
sure.
Nice.
What's something you refuse to compromise on in a relationship?
Mm. I don't know. First of all, compromise next to communication, compromise is the next third ish
You
important
gotta you
thing
gotta
in a
do it.
relationship. So I have a lot of compromise in there. I have some hard no's, which is like trust. Like once you break my trust, it's a wrap.
Mhm.
I don't play about me. So like if you
As you
mistreating
should.
me, if you like trying to ignore my love languages, if you're trying to treat me like I need to help you unpack your baggage, like I'm cool, it's a wrap.
Mhm.
So I think, so I guess something I don't compromise on is helping people unpack their baggage.
You say, get that handle before you get to me.
That part. Granted, we have a conversation beforehand. Like my last relationship, I had a conversation with her. We had to sit down. I'm like, look, I understand. Like I got mostly female best friends. I see all the stuff online. I know y'all women got it hard as fuck out here. I know it. I know y'all been through it, been through the ringer, but I didn't do it. I do not dig myself out of a hole that I didn't put myself in. With that being said, though, I am an over communicator.
Mm.
I love over explaining. Sometimes I do too much, but I like make sure you get the point
Mhm.
and that your questions are answered. So if you feel triggered, and that's another thing I kind of I kind of remind people or try to remind people or try to tell people whatever that being healed does not mean you're never triggered.
Right.
It's just when you are triggered, you know how to handle
Mhm.
your emotions and what you're feeling in at that time. So I tell them like, look, if you're triggered by something, bring it to me. If you're feeling a certain way, communicate it. Let's sit down, let's talk about it. You're going to feel safe, secure, and heard.
But that's those uncomfortable conversations we was talking about earlier.
That part. I'm going to make you feel safe, seen, and heard while you're communicating your triggers or your whatever misunderstanding that you have right now. We're going to talk it through, and boom, at the end, you should feel more at ease.
Mhm.
So, but again, like you only have so many of those before it's like we may not just be a match.
So let me ask you this.
That was a long story, long as fuck.
I have a question. Do you have issues within your relationships because you have so many women friends?
Mm. It's like nah. No, because like going into relationships, they know. First of all, let's be very clear here. I don't have women friends. I have female best friends.
Okay.
Huge difference.
Besties.
Um, and I've told people before, like, cause people online, like, oh, I don't trust no man with female best friends. So what you want, a man
But
who?
have you slept with any of these
No.
friends? Okay, well then they're actual.
But regardless, but people just have their ideas where they're like, oh, they want to sleep with you, you want to sleep with them, da da da. But it's like, so you would much rather have a man who doesn't get any female perspective, just a whole bunch of not shit ass men perspectives, which makes him even more not shit for you. Like, or would you rather have him have real, authentic women around him who give him a different perspective, insight to help him treat you a little bit better or kinder or softer or give you more grace. Da, da, da. Like the smart thing would be like, okay, that's what female friends are for mine. They've taught me a lot about women. They made me a lot better for the women that I dated. So and I always preface relationships with that, like, hey, these are my female best friends. It's all of them. Da, da. It's only like 4 or 5 of them. It ain't that many. Well, I got like a fave and then a best friend,
That's a
but
lot.
yeah, they all came in different parts of my life and just established a relationship. But I let them know like they made me they played a huge part in why I'm as good of a man to you
Mhm.
as I am. So, boom, and then I make sure that they meet him. Like the last one, we went on like a quadruple triple date, so they
Mhm.
can see like the energy. Because that's another thing. Like
Yes.
it's one like I think you should definitely meet the best friends for sure. Both are like if she's got male best friends, definitely meet them because you can tell a fucking lot. My she tried to tell me this one guy was a friend, but come to find out he was an old trick,
Ooh.
and she was trying to still keep him around. And you know what's so crazy? This is how diabolical I am because I'm a Scorpio. We went to brunch, right? He sat across from us, kind of cat a corner, and
At the table
he
or a
had a
different
table.
table?
At the
Okay.
table, I heard it like, let me see something. I'm an affectionate person already. So I'm right there like, let me be affectionate right now. So I'm right there like trying to kiss on her cheek. Like it was her birthday, man. It was her birthday. So I'm right there like, when's your birthday, baby? And I like kind of looked out the corner of my eye. And this nigga like, he looked away.
You don't want to see that.
And then like her energy was kind of like kind of this. I'm right there like, you lying motherfucker. I fucking knew it.
Did you confront her?
Yeah, we talked about it, but she still, to this day, oh no, that's she's just my friend. I don't know. But anywho, so you should definitely meet the best friends to see that energy,
I agree with that.
that love. Like, so she's seen, and that she became friends with them. Like one of our friends, they go to the same church now, and all that other shit. So it's like once you see that energy and that love that they have for me, the genuineness and how we are with each other, like then you're able to be like, okay, I can see why y'all best friends. I can see that energy and whatever it may be. So yeah. So let's go to we're gonna end it with a fire round. We're gonna end it on a high note instead of that bullshit. It's like nah.
Okay.
All right, fire round question. This is quick, either or. You have to pick one.
Oh,
Big romantic gestures or everyday little things.
everyday little things.
Okay.
Looks or personality?
Fuck. Looks first and then personality.
It's one or the other. So looks.
Mm. I'm not the inside what's counts person, but they still got her personality.
Okay.
Who's the better planner, you or your partner?
Me. First move. Should men always make it?
Nah, definitely not always. If you see something you like, go after it. We grown as fuck. Late night movies or spontaneous day trip.
Day trip? Day trip.
Okay.
Would you rather date someone in your industry or someone completely different?
Ooh, that's a good one. Dating someone in my industry can be beneficial. I would do either, but someone in my industry, I think we can make some magic for sure. What's the best date night idea? Out or at home?
Ooh.
Mm.
It's both for me. I can't do a combo. It's gotta be
Oh
either
no, it's gotta be
one.
one of the, it's gotta be either or. It's gotta be either or.
All right, I'm gonna go with inside.
Yeah, I love good inside.
What's more important, chemistry or compatibility?
Oh, compatibility. I learned that all chemistry does not equate to compatibility. Also, I'm right there like some you can have chemistry, it can just be sexual. But some
Hmm.
people be like, oh, the sex is good. We have sexual chemistry, and they try to think it should be a relationship. No, y'all just supposed to fuck a couple times,
That's it,
and that's it, and keep it
and
moving.
that's okay.
Or business, like, oh, we have a chemistry, but it's really a business chemistry. Like y'all really smart on some marketing shit on a business thing, but y'all done rolled it over into a relationship, and then y'all break up after a kid and blah, that's some dumbass shit.
Hmm.
Yeah. Fancy dinner or a fun activity date?
Fancy dinner,
Ah, yeah, because you don't like the activity.
no
We already
question.
said
Carlo and Johnny, me.
that. Carlo and Johnny. What's that? A restaurant?
Carlo and Johnny. It's
That
under
here?
Jeff Ruby. Yes.
Is that
Right
in
under Jeff
Cincinnati?
Ruby. Yes.
I ain't never heard of it in my life.
Carlo and Johnny. You know
Never
Jeff
heard of
Ruby
it.
has the umbrella. They got Precinct, Jeff Ruby,
Yeah,
Carlo and
where is
Johnny.
that at?
It's out in Montgomery.
I about to say somewhere far as fuck.
It's out in
I don't
Montgomery.
get that. I'm a West Sider.
Although I heard the Precinct, someone told me the Precinct steaks are better than Carlo and Johnny, but I've
Mm,
never been to the Precinct. But
okay. Put me on then.
ideal first date, a daytime adventure or nighttime vibe?
Um, if we're talking actual date, I would much rather do like a daytime adventure. But I do this thing called outings at first. So I don't do like first like I have this thing where I chit chat for a minute, and then once I figure out like we're kind of cool and you have a vibe and we're vibing together, then I'm like, let me set up an outing. Let's what you doing tomorrow? Like I get off at 4. Like let's go grab a bite to eat real quick. Like that's an outing to me.
So you
Or,
call it an outing, not a date.
yeah, it's just an
On the
outing.
first
It's
meetup.
still kind of.
So who pays?
I
Y'all
still
split
pay.
it?
No,
Oh, you
I always pay. Yeah, yeah, I always pay. Like just the outing, see how we are. What's our chemistry in real life? We had a good chemistry
See how y'all vibe.
on
Yeah.
the phone, on FaceTime, like or DMs, whatever the case may be. Like
Make sure
let's
you're
see
not
how
being
we are.
catfished. You ever been catfished?
I have one time in my life,
What happened?
and what's so crazy? My little sister was in on it.
Ah!
Little sister, I'm gonna send this to you too. My little sister knew that this girl was not posting her fucking pictures. I drove far as fuck. I lived on the west side. I drove all the way to Mosteller,
I know.
like going to Mosteller, like maybe the extra, the one after that. Picked this girl up. She got in the car. I'm right there, like I went to be like, "Yo, sister coming? Like, who is you?" Totally
What was
different person.
wrong?
Totally different person.
What? Completely different person.
Completely different person than what she had posted. Granted, I'm talking 16 years ago. That's how long. My son is 18, so 17 years ago.
So what was the post on? What was this?
MySpace ish.
I was about to say, was
It
it?
was like we
We
old as
old.
fuck. We old as we old as fuck. So my sister knew the girl though, and so I picked her up, and I don't know what the fuck, but it took me until I got home to think of an excuse. So as soon as I pulled up to my house, my apartment, I text my
You
dude.
picked her up, took it to your house.
Yeah, text my dude like, hey, text me and call me and tell me you need me to come pick you up right now. It's an emergency. So literally he called like I'm like, where you at? Da, da, da. So I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I gotta take you back home. Like I gotta pick my nigga up. Da, da, da. So I took her literally just got in there. We went in there 5 minutes, took her all the way. It was probably like a 35-minute drive back and dropped her the fuck off and then never talked to her again. Now like every now and then I see her out in the club and she be like, they're like, hey brother, like cause she cool with my sister.
Oh, that was brother.
Like, shorty, like, hey, yeah.
I got catfish. Let me just twice, back to back.
Crazy. When?
Right before I met my fiance.
Because these days it's like now, like if I like somebody and I have even a slightest hint that they might be catfish, baby, that's FaceTime.
So
we had FaceTime before we even.
Okay, so the first catfish, very handsome guy. Now this was a couple months before I met my fiance. We met on a dating site and we linked up and we walked in a park. So we were walking side by side.
Woods Park or
it was out in Fairfield. So it was kind of both. It was,
you can't be going to a wood park with strangers. You're crazy.
I was all right, believe me. So we walking through, and I mean it's a walking path. We not like, deep in the woods.
Yeah.
And so
that's good.
We walking side by side. That was the first time we met. So we weren't like face to face. Super cool. We had only been chit chatting for a couple days. And then maybe 2 days later, he met up with me and my friends at a sports bar to watch the Bengals game. And he's sitting right here by me. And as the night went on, I felt like something was off with his mouth. Come to find out, he was missing teeth.
So the whole time he just kept you on the teeth side.
He was talking. The way he was talking, he was
teeth side.
He was mumbling. So and I was very locked in. I had a couple gummies, so I was a little locked in. And so I'm like, and I told him, I said, I'm staring at him, and I said, you got to speak up. I can't hear you. Speak up. And he was kind of mumbling. But as the liquor started flowing through his system, he loosened up.
Yeah.
And so he started. So towards the end, the lips loosened up towards the end. He said something, and I was like, wait a goddamn minute. Is he missing teeth?
Ryan.
And so I said to my friends, I said, me and my friend Maddie, shout out to Madison. She said, come here, pull me in the bathroom. I said, is this nigga missing teeth? And she was like, you are so loud. I said, y'all, you mean to tell me we've been here for 3 hours and y'all knew that something was wrong with his teeth? So that was the first time. Then there was another guy who I met on the dating site. After this guy, we only met up one time, similar to the first guy. We only met up twice. We met up one time at the same sports bar, and
So you just take all your hoes at a sports bar.
they wasn't none of my hoes. No, they was potential hoes. They wasn't none of my hoes. But they never even made it there. So he catfished me because his pictures on the dating site, he looked very in shape. He looked very healthy. He looked like he went to the gym. And so that's what I was expecting. And so when I pulled up and I got out and I saw him walking, I was like, this can't be him. And so I walked in, and when we walked up to the bar, I gave him a little church hug. Even the bartender, because the bartender knew me, he was kind of looking at me like, "Bitch, you in here with him?" Eyes was yellow.
Oh,
gut.
wow.
He looked like he hadn't been to the gym in 2 years. I mean, he looked like a completely different person. And this is
That's
no shade,
crazy.
but present yourself as you are.
As you are.
And so I guess these may have been old pictures when he was like in the
To
gym.
post old pictures online that's
crazy.
That should be studied.
It didn't look like him. I mean, he looked very, very unhealthy. His movements were slow, and I was like, the next day he wrote me on the app because we hadn't even exchanged numbers, and I was like, you seem like a nice guy, but this ain't gonna work out.
That's
and
crazy.
He was cool with it. He was like, all right, well, thank you for letting me.
Because we already knew he was catfish.
Never seen him again. Don't remember his name. Don't remember none of these niggas' names.
And on that note, we will end it there. Thank you so much for the enlightening conversation. I hope you guys got a lot of information out of that because I know I did. It gave me hope that maybe I can still approach dating with, I'm going to find my person and not have to settle for like who looks good on paper.
Yes. And
y'all gave me a little hope.
Believe you will.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. Look at your glass.
It's
oh
empty.
My goodness. Please don't text anybody tonight.
No, but I'm not tipsy. That's why that's why I say I'm going to have like one or two and be good. Okay. Because if I would have had wine, I would have drank the whole thing.
Because I wasn't drinking none of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, we're out.
We're out.